If you're like me, you spend way more time than you actually like to admit on your phone. It was a couple of years ago that I realized that this thing was just drawing all of my attention. And I started to look for different ways, reading different books and articles and videos online on how can I stop giving so much attention to my phone and get a lot of my time back. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you a few of the techniques that have really helped me break the addiction to my phone. My phone is not allowed in the bedroom anymore. It's been quite a few years that I started charging my phone outside of the bedroom, and a few things actually happened here. The excuse of, oh, but it's my alarm clock, I realized very quickly it's a much more effective alarm clock when it is outside the room because you have to get up, get out of bed and turn it off, sorry. Then if you could just roll over and hit the snooze button. So if you say that your phone is your alarm clock, you can either get a cheap one off Amazon, or you can actually turn it into a much more effective alarm clock by having it making a noise where you have to walk out of the bed to turn it off. That habit did take a little bit to get into, but once I started charging my phone and my Apple Watch outside of the room, it's probably the best hack I have to not being on your phone first thing in the morning or the last thing at night. And I reckon that will automatically give you 30 minutes back within a day. The second thing that I did with my phone was I deleted all social media off my phone. Instagram, Facebook, all those applications. I realized that it's so easy to hit one of those apps and get sucked in to just the algorithm of entertainment and that quick fix. And I couldn't actually stop myself from going on them, especially when I had that moment of boredom. When I want to use Facebook now, I do it via the computer. It's a lot easier to disconnect that way. And Instagram, I basically go on once a year to post something about our anniversary. So just deleting the apps that spent a whole bunch of your time and reinstalling them when you need them, I found to be a really effective way of creating another barrier of, instead of just pressing the button and launching the app, if you really want to use it, you can, but you want to be really intentional about actually launching that application. And I'd recommend, if you do want to still use them, download them, but then delete them when you're done using it. And you'll find that your sessions on there are fewer and far between, and you probably spend less time as well. Another quick hack was actually pressing the home button 3 times. I set this accessibility shortcut to make the screen go black and white. Our phones have beautiful displays and they make everything look so amazing, and you can just get drawn into the colors and everything you're seeing. If you turn your phone onto a black and white mode, it becomes a lot less attractive. It doesn't stop you from looking things up and getting information and making phone calls and all that sort of stuff, but having a black and white screen compared to all these colorful, contrasty colors does actually make you put it down a lot easier. I think about it as when you compare reading on a Kindle to watching something on an iPad or a laptop. The iPad and the laptop, you can spend a lot more time on there than you probably would reading a book or reading on a Kindle. Another really easy way to reduce how often you use your phone is having it out of arm's reach. When I'm at the desk and I'm working, I actually grab my phone, I put it in this drawer, and that is in the corner of the room. And it's a lot harder for me to turn around, have to go get it out of the drawer than if it was sitting next to me on the desk. I know it's a little thing, but if your phone is just out of arm's reach, you're probably less likely just to pick it up out of boredom or pick it up out of your habit. And then of course, when you need it, you can actually go ahead and grab it and be a bit more intentional with the way that you use your phone. I'd also recommend, if you have apps that you just can't delete for whatever reason, one of mine is the internet on the phone. You can't delete it, but I would put in things like a timer on that app. To put timers on an app is really easy. Just launch into your settings. In the search option, type in the word screen time and open up your screen time here. Then you'll see the second option from the top is your app limits. If I select on set time limits for apps, you see I've already got a few limits here for Outlook, for a game that I used to play, for Facebook, Safari, and Instagram. I've actually deleted Facebook and Safari, but that still works if I access them via the web. And then you can go ahead and add limits to those apps by simply select on add limit and follow the prompts. and you get a pop-up after your limit is reached. Another big thing is notifications. Your phone is designed to notify you every single time you get a like, a message, a ping, a ding, anything, right? I actually go in and turn off basically all of the notifications on my phone, except for essentially 3 applications. My phone, so if it calls, my messages, so if someone texts me, and Teams, again, that's if someone's calling or messaging, but that's specific for work. Everything else basically has notifications turned off. And the cool thing here is that when your phone's down, you'll still get all the notifications on your phone. You just won't be hearing the dings and the pings. But when you go on your phone, you can launch that app and you can see the notifications or what messages you were receiving. The last thing I would say when it comes to helping you reduce the time that you spend on your phone really is to be kind to yourself. This is something I had to really learn myself, in that if you want to bring your screen time down by 30 minutes or an hour in a day, it's okay to slip up sometimes. Some days you give yourself permission to spend more time than you want to on Facebook, or just be scrolling through Reels and TikToks. It's okay to have those times. And then, of course, realize that, hey, I spent the past 30 minutes on this app that I didn't really need to, and then just try again the next day. So definitely the biggest thing here is to be kind to yourself, because it's definitely a journey, and these things are designed to make our lives easier, but don't let them take over all of your attention. If you have any strategies that you think could be helpful, let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.